everyone, my name is Frankie and welcome to a movie a day challenge. Today is day number 307 and it's November 3rd, 2018. Today I'll be watching the 1969 Western film, The Wild Bunch. Now, in each episode of a movie a day challenge, I pick one film that I've never seen before, and then I take that movie's movie poster and place it to the side of it. I do this because I absolutely have no idea of what the film that I'm about to watch is about. And being that I have absolutely no clue about the film or what it's about, I feel like I need to draw some type of conclusion of what I think the film may be about, based solely on the movie poster itself. In saying this, let's go ahead and take a look at the 1969 Western film movie poster to The Wild Bunch. Now, the Wild Bunch movie poster is pretty interesting. We have a group of people. The tint is blue here, so it's very hard to make out who they are. So I don't know if there is, who the actors are playing these roles. But I'm looking at it, and they all have their backs towards like the picture, like the camera. So it's a bit weird. I don't know if it's supposed to be that way, that I'm not supposed to know who these people are, or it's supposed to be some mystery of who the Wild Bunch is, and at the end of the film I'm supposed to find out who they are. But it's a little rude in a way. I mean, you're not supposed to turn your back on someone. Maybe it has to do with that. Maybe this group of people are turning their backs on people. Maybe that's about the film. But I know the film is going to have action sequences in it, and based on what the movie poster is showing me, it looks like it's going to be pretty cool. We got a man here clutching at his chest. Probably got shot. So I know that there's going to be gunfire. And with a name like The Wild Bunch, I know the antics of this film is going to be crazy. So I'm very interested in watching this film and enjoying it. I'm looking forward to sitting down and enjoying the 1969 Western film, The Wild Bunch. Now, after I finish analyzing the movie poster itself, I then let you, the viewer, know that I'm going to go ahead and watch The Wild Bunch. But before I go and do that, I want to let you, the viewer, know that after I finish watching The Wild Bunch, I then come back and tell you a little bit about the film. However, I don't go in great detail about the movie. You see, I don't release any major spoilers about the film, nor do I tell you anything about the movie's plot either. Why? Well, because I don't want to ruin your chance at watching a really great film for the first time. And since this is also my first time watching The Wild Bunch as well, I wouldn't want anyone to spoil the film for me by telling me any major spoilers about the movie or telling me anything about the plot of the film either before I actually go ahead and watch the film. I want you to enjoy this film for what it is and be entertained by it, because that's the sole purpose of a movie a day challenge. Now, in case you have previously seen the 1969 Western film The Wild Bunch previously, please feel free to substitute The Wild Bunch for another film for your enjoyment pleasure. It doesn't even be in the genre of Western films. This way you can take part in a movie a day challenge and possibly watch each film along with me as I go along. In saying that, I'm going to go ahead right now and watch the 1969 Western film, The Wild Bunch, and then I'm going to come back and tell you a little bit about the film. I'll be right back. I just finished the 1969 Western film, The Wild Bunch, and I want to let you, the viewer, know that The Wild Bunch is a good movie. A very long movie, but a good film. You see, I don't know what it's me with long movies. If it gets over 2 hours, I start to get the feeling of, I don't know if I'll be able to sit through this. But then it starts to reach that 2.5 hour mark, and you're like, ooh, this is going to be a toughie. I might want to just pause the film, but I can't. It's a movie a day challenge, and I gotta watch the film straight through. I don't want to go and take a pee break. I don't want to go and grab something to drink. I just watching the film. But then the story. The story's interesting. However, there are multiple stories within this film, and it gets confusing at times. It gets confusing because you don't know exactly what's going to happen to these characters and where the overall movie is going. Now, the action scenes in this film, the gunfire, the explosions, the horse riding, it is amazing. It truly is. There is blood in it. More blood than the past Western films I've seen for the last few days. However, it's tasteful, but then a little bit extreme, because the way these people that get shot and killed they do tend to be not grotesque, except for one scene, but a little bit too on the edge of killing spree. There is blood, not gorish blood, but there is blood, and it does splatter. It's not real, like, it's not tend to feel like real. It's paint blood, from back in the 60s. They basically put paint on you, and that's the way it was shown as blood back in the day. So it's nothing like, Caro syrup back in the 80s with, like, horror films. It's just, paint. But it's interesting to watch. I didn't particularly care for the slow motion death scenes, which you'll understand what I'm talking about when you watch the film. I just didn't particularly care for them because I felt that they were just intertwined in the editing of the film itself. So you'd have someone looking at someone, shooting that person looking out, that person that just got shot, that person slowly dying and either falling in some way, shape, or form, and they have to show that in slow motion. But it's not slow motion as in like normal slow motion. It's like slow motion cut back to the person who shot him. Slow motion cut to some random scene. Slow motion something else. Just show me the first slow motion still, and that's it. Just show me the person going in slow motion. You don't have to cut in between stuff. The film, as I said, is a long movie, and I felt that this film could have been at least like an hour and 40 minutes at tops. Really, an hour and 40 minutes. I don't feel that it had to be near 2 hours and 30 minutes long, even though it's about like 2 hours and 25 minutes. For a movie to go over this, I just felt it was too much. Too much. At times of the story, I felt sometimes very bored. And I don't like to feel that way when trying to be entertained by a movie. It's just the stretching of scenes. The stretching of scenery, just trying to show like B-roll of film. It's just stretching out the movie. You don't need to. I don't every 5 minutes have to watch a horse and a bunch of guys riding their horses in the desert. Don't need to see that. Just speed up the film. Speed up the film. There was probably more scenes of guys riding their horses in this movie that I've ever seen before in any film prior to getting into this genre of Western films. It's just weird. Just to just add more film to your movie? Why? The one thing also, another thing I should say, not the one thing, another thing I didn't felt that was called for was nudity in the film. There is nudity in this movie. Now, I didn't particularly care for the nudity. I don't know why. I just didn't particularly care for nudity in this film. Female members, I don't care for. Why it had to be shown to me? I guess it's supposed to show their lifestyle, but I felt like Western films and, the Western genre of action films, the cowboy genre, shouldn't have been there. It should stay at least some morals. But some people aren't, cowboys. Some people are crazy outlaws. So they need to have their stuff. Just didn't feel particularly needed for this movie. Other things that I enjoyed about the movie, aside from the action sequences, I did actually enjoy seeing Ernest Borgnine in it. Not just because, he's Ernest Borgnine, the actor in the film, but because he's Mermaid Man from SpongeBob. So, come on. You gotta like Mermaid Man. I just like that. I don't know why I just said it, but I just liked it. That's all. Aside from that, the movie's a good movie. It's just very long, and I really wish it was just cut shorter. Would I recommend it to a family member or a friend? No, I would not. I don't think my family member or friends would actually sit down and watch this because it's either too long or just not their cup of tea, really. Would I watch it again? No, I would not right now. Maybe in my future. Just not right now. Now, if you like today's episode, you see that thumbs up underneath this video? Click it. Give us a like for today's episode. As you're doing that, maybe you've seen the 1969 Western film, The Wild Bunch, and liked it. Maybe you've seen it and you didn't like it. Maybe you're interested in watching the film, you hear my review about the movie, you're going to watch the film after seeing my review, and then come back and write something. Well, whichever the three may be, please tell me in the comment box down below. Right down there. And as you're doing that, you see the word subscribe underneath this video? Click it. Subscribe to a movie a day challenge. Now, tomorrow is day number 308 of a Movie a Day Challenge, and I'll be watching the 1968 Western film, Once Upon a Time in the West. My name is Frankie. I will be here tomorrow for day number 308 in the 1968 Western film, Once Upon a Time in the West. I will see you tomorrow.